Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our moderator for this Color of Conversation, Joshua Smith.
All right, now I know that was deep. Y'all wasn't expecting that, was it? So let's all breathe. Woo, I'm sorry, because I've seen it multiple times, and obviously our actors have seen it, but that is a very emotional scene. So can you please, with a warm welcome, please welcome to the stage Miss Antoneta Stallings, Head of Development and Acquisitions at Tyler Perry Studios. She was also the producer on this film. Hey, give him a walk. A little commotion for the outfit, thank you. Now, y'all just saw a performance by this young man. Y'all may have seen him on a couple of our shows. I don't know, Sistas, Zatima. Can you please give your warmest welcome to Dvai Ellis? Give it up, give it up, give it up. And last but not least, the man that just blew everybody's mind. Can you please give it up for the writer, the director, Courtney Glaudé? Absolutely, absolutely. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Absolutely. Courtney, I would like to start this elegant evening off by asking you, what the hell is wrong with you? How did we get here? You know, I thought there's a microphone. There we go. It should be on.
It's already on.
Boom. Yeah, no, so like I said, what the hell's wrong with you?
I just told the story. Like this story was personal to me because my grandmother had dementia, but she just had a light case of dementia, and basically the story just came from me going over there one day, and my grandmother, when she was young and when she was around 12 or 13 years old, she spoke Creole. She spoke French because my family's from Louisiana, and she knows I don't. Like I never have. So when I would walk up, she would speak Creole to me because in her mind, she was there, basically. And I would always know when she would click in and click out because she would do this blink. And then I would it would shock her that I was sitting right there. And she would be like, when did you get here? And I'm like, oh, I've been here. And that thought just basically transitioned to everything else that came with the film.
Why the title Old Grey Mare? Can you give me a little bit more context on that?
There's a song that I think I saw it on The Simpsons or something when I was a kid, but it was like, Old Grey Mare, she ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to see. You see what I'm saying? Like,
come on, karaoke night.
Yeah. So the words are just basically, Old Grey Mare, she ain't what she used to be many long years ago, and if you can imagine, and some people get older, they're just not able to do what they were able to do, years ago. So I took that title to name it that.
Now, typically, we don't see this type of project from TPS. So, Antoneta, what made Courtney stand out, and what model are we now looking at for TPS? Are we in a new age? I mean, you got to tell me something.
She's so crazy. No, absolutely. Courtney is amazing. He's a multi-hyphenate, which resonates with the studio because that's obviously what Tyler is. Courtney can write, he can direct, he can produce, and he has done all that prior to Tyler Perry Studios. I don't know if many of you know, but he did a successful movie called The Reading many years ago with Monique and Lee Daniels for BET. Clap it up, clap it up.
Clap it up for The Reading. That ending rocked my world too.
And that's, where we began to start noticing Courtney. And Robert Boyd, who's our COO of the company, had a previous relationship with someone that Courtney knows and brought Courtney to the studio. And Courtney showed a different iteration of this short film to Tyler, a 12-minute version that he spent $2,500 on. We'll get to that part later. And that short film is what got Courtney his overall deal at the studio. And so I think a big part of it is, Courtney believes in himself. And I think a lot of times filmmakers are waiting for someone to come and get them, someone to come give them the money. He put his money where his mouth was, and we were able to see what he was able to do with $2,500. So imagine if we give him $25 million. That's an investment. That's a true example of like when you invest in yourself. Now the studio has resources to help take him further faster, but this young man was already doing a lot of what you see prior to coming into the TPS. So that made him attractive to us. And then in terms of like where the studio is headed, this is an example of it. We're trying to create the next wave of creators. Not even trying to, we are creating the next waves of creators. Tyler has given us full carte blanche to go off to the races to do that. Courtney is the first of what I hope to be many. I've recently just been promoted to the head of development, so I oversee all...
Yeah, clap it up for that.
I oversee all unscripted and scripted programming now for the studio, and Courtney is the first project, or the first overall deal that I'm overseeing. I'm super excited to work with him. We're going into production for the feature-length film at the top of the year, and we're also going into production for another film here in September in Houston. So we have a lot going on at the studio. The H-Town. A part of like our reasoning for pushing Courtney coming on the film festival is, is sort of just to help extend the brand and show where we're going and what we're doing. And when a lot of people think of Tyler Perry Studios, it's synonymous with Tyler Perry. And so our objective is to start finding those stories, finding those creatives, and exploiting those voices, because we want to demonstrate that, Tyler can decide, I don't want to do another movie tomorrow. But what does that mean for the studio? And so this is sort of our answer to that. We're still exploring it, but Courtney is a great way to sort of, figure out what that will look like for us. And so we're just excited and, humbled and excited that you wanted to partner with us.
I love that. Mr. Ellis? Yes, clap it up, please. You like that, because I have to call you Mr. Ellis after a performance like this. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
Clap it up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I want to know, how did you get to the space? Because you have kids.
Yes.
How did you get to that space to where that performance can be that authentic in this film?
First and foremost, I'm a dad first, so having kids, and when I first saw the $2,500 version of this, I was like, wow, like you did that with $2,500. I just want to be a part of it. Secondly, my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, suffers from Alzheimer's now, and her husband, my grandfather's name is Charles. So you see in the film, she's yelling, Charles, Charles, that was my life for the last decade and a half when my grandfather passed on and my grandmother's still screaming, Charles, Charles. So to me, it was just a real story that we don't talk about in our culture, right? Because dementia is just sugar on the brain. And when you've done this a lot, you understand that a lot of these things can be changed if we change our diet, if we change the way we move, if we change the way we live, but we're not having these conversations. Thank you. Another thing that allowed me to get there was thinking of the fact that, as you guys know, I don't have a daughter. I have 4 sons. But before my last son, my wife and I lost a child, which we believe was our daughter. And most dads never really get a chance to grieve. Because if you're a leader in your house, you understand that your first responsibility is to take care of your wife and your children. So when I read this, I saw this as an opportunity to show the audience what it looks like for black men to grieve. And this is just the beginning. I can't wait for you guys to see the full feature, because then you get a chance to go through the full process. And I don't know if you guys watch Sistas, but right now Zach is grieving. And you get a chance for the first time. I've watched Twitter, and Twitter's like, I ain't never seen a black man on TV like this. But how many fathers are in the building right now? How many fathers? Y'all know what it's like. When you lose something in your family, it doesn't just affect the mom. It doesn't just affect the kids. It affects us as well. So for me, it was important to play this role to show people what we go through as well in our community.
Courtney, what does vulnerability mean? Yes. Courtney, what does vulnerability mean to you?
In an artistic way, it's what I see as being nude of something. Like when we're nude, we're at our most vulnerable position because everything around us can harm us because we don't even know how to function that way. Like I wasn't taught to be vulnerable. Something happens at school, I come home crying, my mom is gonna be like, shut those tears up. If I come home, I can't come home and got beat up because she gonna send me out there back again.
Try that again.
Your mom, yeah.
Yeah, my mom,
Round two.
yeah, especially my mom.
Finish him.
So it's one of those things to where vulnerability is probably where we get our strength because it's how we recharge. And if we can surround ourselves with people that can take care of that vulnerability, I think it would produce better black men in the community because we feel safe. Even though we're leaders need their tribe. For us to take off that cape, we have to be able to take off that cape in a safe position. And I do think that we have it. I don't think that it's being promoted
Facts.
or highlighted of what's really going on within the home. These men are strong because of what's going on in the home. It's not always like our strength, it doesn't come in our power. It actually comes within our vulnerability because we can be like that and still lead the very next day or actually the next moment. You know what I mean?
Deep.
Josh, crazy.
No, because I'm over here. I'm really listening to this answer because I'm like, this is deep. Now we're gonna open the audience up for questions. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get myself together so we have a couple of people with some mics. So if you guys want to come down, I think on each side, while we're having.
I do want to say one quick thing before we get questions.
Bring it to you, actually, but it's okay.
I'm gonna take it.
We got you.
So one thing that I didn't get to mention is one thing that's important too for the business of Tyler Perry Studios is Courtney came in understanding how he could capture Tyler's audience, which means retain, but also expand and broaden, which was attractive for us because sometimes people come in pitching us movies about demons, and it's like, we would never do that. Right. Like, did you study the brand at all? So as you're networking, you may, talk to Courtney afterwards, myself or whatever, sort of also understand the brand prior to pitching to the studio, because when he came in, he didn't just come in with a narrative, he came in with a plan. And the state that Tyler Perry Studios is in now, we're looking to expand. I like to liken my job to now as like the music industry, and I'm L.A. Reid, looking for Mariah Carey, Usher, Justin Bieber, and I have my first artist, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna be looking to sign other artists in the future. But you still have to understand the brand and know that if it will be a mutually beneficial partnership. So if you aren't making a product that aligns with our brand, don't let that be a deterrent. You just have to go find somewhere that is more aligned with what you're trying to do. And I'm only saying this because a lot of creatives come up to me and have come up to me while I'm here, like, oh, I have this program about, vampires killing whatever. And it's like, I hate to kill your joy, but that's not something we would do. I thought that was important to say because I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions afterwards.
No, absolutely. Did you have something?
No.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the audience? Don't be shy. All right, here we go.
Hi. So I squeezed my way into this sold-out movie for this particular reason, and I'm a little nervous. Anyway, I'm Dr. Lisa Nagy. I'm on Netflix as an expert in the area of environmental causes of dementia. Wow. And somebody just said they want to do my Netflix series last night. So my story is kind of unbelievable. I'd like to connect and give you my flyer of information. I'm trying to bring environmental medicine to traditional medicine to prevent chronic disease by looking at the etiology of it.
We need that.
So Fauci opposes me, and we both went to Cornell Med, and I just had a rally last week, like explaining that Fauci needs to change his position. And I just would like to say that it's really exciting to see this flick, and I'm really excited to talk to you maybe afterwards about people should recover, not just me, from like an ALS picture, but other people should be able to get well who aren't doctors. Right. And I just, I'll shut up because I know I could talk forever about this. But the Netflix series is called Afflicted, and I'm mostly in episode 6, but it's 7 hours about my patients. Thanks very much.
Absolutely, episode 6.
Oh, hey Hey y'all. Wow, this is my second time. Hey, I'm Nuri. Shout out to Courtney, a new friend, and the entire panel. I saw you guys at ABFF. Seeing it a second time just made me think about how strategic your shooting had to be, like how you hid the baby. Because the second time I was like, wait, is that the piece of a car seat? Or, I missed a lot of things the first time. So I just want to commend you on how you did that. But did you and your DP, or you, Courtney, strategically shoot or edit in a way to make sure that you didn't give away that final moment, which is such an incredible, like your performance, again, the second time, I'm over here crying. Like, I'm just, shout out to this brother right here. But as an actor, I just love that. And I'm a mother too, so I can only imagine. But how did you strategically shoot? Because it's just so unbelievable how you hid that was, so great job.
Most of the time, it's just making people, I didn't hide anything, I just made you pay attention to something else. So when they were in the kitchen, there was an elephant and a baby bag, right? And when she was washing bottles when she walked in the kitchen. So it's like I turned your attention to, and then it's an afterthought as well. Everything doesn't have to be seen, because when Dvai and Larissa, who played Robin, when they're talking, when Charnel Brown, I don't know if you guys know Charnel Brown from A Different World. Yes, she did amazing. First of all, she doesn't look like that. I just want to be clear. She aged well. We did that to her. We did that to her. When Charnel and Larissa were in the garage talking, in the background, you can hear Dvai in the car. So that's where he was coming from, putting the baby in the car. You know what I mean? So it's just hiding things in plain sight. When she pulled up and the little boy was telling her where to go, in her angle, the baby seat is rocking right there. You just don't pay attention to, I just make people pay attention to something else that's just as interesting when I'm telling a totally different story.
Woo!
Hello. Hey, I wanted. My name is Anthony Green. I'm from Atlanta, and 100 Black Men of Atlanta has a mental health initiative to deal with Black men's mental health, and this issue of Black male vulnerability amongst some of the strongest men in our society is a big issue. So I applaud you for this work and how important it is to provide a safe space for Black men to be vulnerable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This was beautiful, so thank you for this. My question is, what lesson or feeling did you want this audience to have coming away from this? Because seeing this for the 45 minutes, there were so many things that came to mind for me, but I'm curious to know what you had in mind.
There are a few things. One, have a conversation with your parents. What's going on with your doctor visits? Why are you going to the doctor? Why are you taking those? That's not vitamins. Why are there 30,000 bottles of medicine in this closet? And it doesn't even have to be your grandparents. It could just be your parents. Don't ignore when they forget something. And I don't mean, can we say, I can say that? Oh, so this is the start of a series called the Amygdala series. And so the Amygdala series just deals with different situations that we go on. So it could be dementia, it could be diabetes. I just tell it in a way to where it's a thriller, because for our audience, I have to get you engaged to watch it to the end. If I didn't present it like a thriller and didn't show her in the beginning, you're not watching her walk through her house for 3 days. Right. So I have to present it to you in what's entertaining to you while trying to show you something anyway. And I want people to have a conversation. I want to start a conversation about what's going on with our parents, what's going on with our friends. And I think for me, and truthfully, the underlying thing is about dementia. The baby being it's the only way I can shock you enough to where now you will have the conversation afterwards. If her house burned down, you would be like, oh, yeah, that's normal. She would forget something on the stove, but I had to create a shock value that I think resonates with a lot of people.
I want to thank you so much for the presentation, but I see this as an opportunity. I'm pushing 70. And coming to this film festival to volunteer is a way that I keep myself from losing it. I have went through this with my parents. I'm watching friends who are younger than me are diagnosed already with early onset dementia, early onset Alzheimer's. I'm seeing this now amongst black men specifically. So my message is, once you retire, don't go home and sit down and watch TV.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Talk about it, for sure.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to two of my friends when they retired. They went home, made a point of, I don't work no more. Get up and go to work. I volunteer. I teach school, and I'm a corporate retiree, but I go back to teach school. It keeps me engaged and also keeps my computer skills on top. That's just my message.
All right,
Come on,
you.
message.
Just start talking. Oh, sorry. Was he going first? Oh, right here. Look, I'm a 75-year-old from the DMV, and I've been in the area of child and family, black community stuff forever. Howard professor, all that drama. But what I'm saying to you is, I love you, Mr. Ellis, and now I love you, Mr.
Thank
Cloud.
you.
I love you. My provocative challenge to you is because my 91-year-old mother, my 87-year-old daddy, and I'm 75, we are now looking at multiple generations of elderly living in the same family system, with families who are dealing with both paternal and maternal sides.
Yeah.
And so the question is, how do you talked about the education of our community, and this is a fabulous way to get the attention. How do we get to the intergenerational issue? We have health disparities, but we also are living longer, and with that longevity comes multiple generations of elderly need. So I just want to throw that out. How do you see yourself moving into the intergenerational discussion? Because that's a powerful one. As the safety net dies, as we fight over Big Mama's house and the resources, it goes on, we have the health problems.
That actually was a brilliant question. I'm glad you asked that. Antoneta and I, we just discussed it. She's the head of scripted and unscripted. We had a conversation last week about a project I'm pitching to her, The Ellis' in the Time Machine, which is a multi-generational cartoon about the very thing you're talking about. Because my in-laws, who are my children's grandparents, live with us. So it'll be a way for us to reach our generations by giving them the information we want them to give. We want to give them. So for example, and I'm not trying to get political, but I do think that we have to stop relying on the government. I feel like years have shown us that we can't trust them to tell us what we need to do with our bodies. They don't care about our bodies, they don't care about our mind, they don't care about our children. So it is up to us, the creatives, the creators, to decide that when we put content out there, the content has to be more than just content that's gonna make money. There has to be a purpose, there has to be a message. And the message has to exist that's gonna push us forward as a people. And I can sit here right now and tell you that sitting here with Antoneta, sitting here with Courtney, these are the stories they wanna tell. There's no more just, let's tell something that's gonna be funny. Every time I come with an idea, they say, why, Dvai? Why would we tell this story? And the story has to be deeper than pockets. So all I'm gonna say is right now at TPS, these people up here are working on the very thing you asked, multi-generational, so that those kids growing up can have things to watch that remind us of the Magic School Bus, that can remind us of Roots. Who sat here and watched Roots with their parents and grandparents? I had to. My grandmother made me watch Kunta Kinte get his foot cut off and told me to sit there and stare at the TV. But I learned about Black American history because of that. So that's the very thing we're trying to do up here. So that was a great question, and that's how.
We have time for one more question.
Good evening. My name is Sade Adeoye, and I'm a junior marketing major, Spanish minor at Howard University.
Ain't you?
Yes.
You know.
Adeyeye, you Nigerian?
Yes, I am.
Yes, the green and the white, yes.
Yes, exactly. I'm a writer, and I'm curious about the production and writing process of the short film. What was your experience writing and drafting this, and how many iterations of the film did you go through before settling on the final version? Because it's very, very powerful.
I am a writer first. I learned how to be a director as a writer first. This first came to me out of, I wanted to tell a story and did not have the money to tell it. So I was like, oh, okay, well, how much money can I put up? Well, the 2,500 12-minute short wasn't even the first one. The first one was a 3-minute short, and it was a silent film because I couldn't afford the sound. So it grew based on what I had to create with. That's the one thing I tell creators all the time. You're not becoming a filmmaker or a storyteller or an artist. You are an artist. Now you have to be an artist within the means that you have right now. Do what you, my statement is do what you can with what you have so that you can become a person to give them what they need, and after you give them what they need, then you can do what you want to do. That's the process. Do what you can so that you can be the person to give them what they need, and then you're able to do what you want to do after that point. Sometimes we jump into the doing what we want to do, and that's the $5 million film. That's not the film that you're at right now. And now when you walk into those rooms asking for $5 million, they're like, well, what have you done? I still walk into the rooms today and they're like, well, what have you done? Okay, well, let me not ask you anymore. Let me go and create. This is the budget that you want to give me? Okay, this is the story that I'm going to tell. With the writing process, I never stop. We're filming a film in October right now, and I just got through writing something backstage that I want to change. It ends up where it's going to be when they say, we can't accept any more scripts. That's it.
Time out. I'm gonna tell you lying too.
Why?
Because we have scripts set at TPS, and then I'll be getting ready to go record, and then here come Courtney. Hey, yo, D, bump all that. Check it. And now he got a whole new plan because we got on set and he sees something.
Something different.
He changes. The creativity never stops.
It never stops. It absolutely never stops. And also know this, what you write sometimes isn't going to be what you film. And then what you film won't be what ends up in the editing. And after the editing, it'll end up being a different story. So one of the most important things for writers, make sure your editor is a storyteller. Your editor editor can kill your movie if they don't know how the rhythm of the story you want to tell.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for joining us for this panel. Give it up for Courtney Glaudé, give it up for Antoneta Stallings, and please give it up for Dvai Ellis.
Thank you.
Thank you.